3 Points of Articulation podcast. Unpopular opinions time now. My turn this week. We've gone full circle and background to me. And boy, I think this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but it is my opinion, which is good. My unpopular opinion is that I don't like Sting. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't think he's as good as everyone makes him out to be. Personally, not a massive fan, never have been, and I don't think I ever will be. Jono, let's go to you first.
I disagree. End of segment.
I'll give you a reason why. I think for me, I've never seen a good match. I haven't seen a barn burner from Sting. I think when I was growing up just bear with me. When I was growing up and WCW was on Channel 5, it was very much the Sting in the stands, sort of just waiting in the wings sort of Sting. I've never really had that, I've got to watch this match, or I watch it back now, I'm like, that's a fantastic match. I've not had that from Sting. You guys might point in the right direction of a really good match, but I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't really felt the wow, this guy's a big deal thing from Sting before.
Well, I've just got to pick up on what you've laid out there. Your facts are completely wrong on what you watched as a kid, because when Sting was in the rafters in 96, 97, it wasn't on Channel 5 at all. So you're talking rubbish there for the second time in this segment. And yes, there's been many iconic Sting matches, not least against Flair, against Vader. You know, he's had some really cracking matches over his career, and it's more based on the character as well. Imagine Ultimate Warrior type of character that can actually work a good match, and you've got Sting.
Yeah, I mean, I might have had a bit of a mismatch from my time scale, but might have been confusing with some old VHSs or something. But that's what I remember Sting being. Sorry, Adam, to cut you off there.
I'm gonna disagree with your opinion first and foremost, but I am gonna justify a little bit of how I think you're feeling. So the reason that I'm gonna disagree with your opinion is you're viewing it from someone who's not gone back and had a look properly into Sting. If you view Sting in the late 80s, your opinion will change. Sting is a fantastic worker, as Jono says. Jono picked the two best opponents for him there. Ric Flair and Vader are the best Sting matches of that era. Some of the matches he had with Flair were brilliant. And they were kind of not Flair's usual at the time, because Flair had to deal with just his talk and just blading and stuff sometimes. Whereas the matches he had with Sting were really good technically. I know Flair had long matches and things, but he tended to have matches with people where it was a bit more brutal. Whereas his matches with Sting were proper technical wrestling, which was really good at the time. Sting's tag team with Lex Luger at that point was really good. It was so over with the fans. Just any little catchphrases, the woo type of thing that he used to do. Just everything he did got over with the fans, and he was perfect for that generation of late 80s. On the alternate side of things, I do agree with you in most part about the Rafters Sting. I don't like the Rafters Sting. The reason that I don't like it is because I liked people at that point in my time. You know, I'm talking like 15-year-old teen kind of Adam. I liked people to wrestle. I liked people to be there every week and actually wrestle. It always went to Sting in the stands. And he didn't do anything really. He didn't wrestle. I wanted to see him wrestle because I knew everything that he had about him and that he was good. And he just didn't do enough of that for me. So I didn't like that era. He was a bit better when he was in the red NWO, but the black and white Sting, I can take him or leave him. But I think you need to go back in your history and you need to watch some of the better Sting matches.
The Surfer Sting you're referring to. Yeah, I think when I had the Galoob of Surfer Sting when I was younger, and the blue trunks with that, I think when I had that when I was younger, that was when Crow Sting was. So I never really got the sort of Surfer Sting side of things. So I'm more than happy to go back and have a look. If you can recommend, give me 3 matches. I'll go and have a look at them. Next episode, we'll have a little recap, and I'll let you know if that's changed my opinion or not.
I just think you haven't properly watched it even during the late 90s, really. So you wouldn't have got the character. And going back to what Adam said, yeah, certainly I can sort of see if he wasn't wrestling every week, why you wouldn't sort of care almost, really. But that created a lot of anticipation. And then when he finally did wrestle, albeit the match against Hogan was a bit of a letdown, following that, he still was able to go quite well. And, he fulfilled the legacy after that. The one mistake he did make was probably not going to WWE. And so he went to TNA instead, and not many people would have seen that sort of side of it or era of his career. And he would have turned a lot more heads had he went to WWE.
Have you seen any of TNA, Jamie, where he was in it?
Yeah, I think that's where my disdain for him comes from, if I'm honest. Only because I got the impression from him that he gets a lot of his gimmicks, a lot of his face paints from copying other stuff. So the Crow from the Crow film, and obviously the Joker thing in TNA as well, which he got over from that point of view. So I think that's when I was like, all right, that's not unique, really, in my opinion. It's not something I haven't seen before. So yeah, I think that's where more of the disdain came from. I've watched the Jeff Hardy match that Sting had, which I think he handled really well in that situation where Jeff Hardy was a bit intoxicated. So that's sort of the Sting that I've watched. First of all, was the TNA side of things. I went back and I've watched some of the Nitros, and when he was at the Wolfpack, I've gone back and watched that, and I've caught in the first Nitro where he faced Flair. So I've watched bits of him across many different eras, and I haven't been wowed yet.
I didn't think the TNA run was that bad. He was in TNA at its height, really, kind of 2010, 11, was it? Where it had the most viewers, basically. And his work in the Main Event Mafia and his work as Joker Sting were quite good. It was a pleasure to watch. He didn't necessarily have the best matches and things like that, but I thought his actual work rate and as far as being there every week and getting over with the crowd, I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, well, so there we go. Me and you are both advocates for the Surface Sting. I'm advocate for the Crow Sting. You're advocate for TNA Sting. Jamie, I think you may have been wrong with this one.
I'm happy to go back and have a look, but when Sting came back in 2014 at Survivor Series, I was like, too little too late for me. And I just didn't really get the whole thing of Sting. I don't understand the whole aura about him. I don't see him up there with the Takers and the Hogans and so on. But
it definitely was too little too late. But that's not denying that I had goosebumps when he came out.
Mm.
I was just about to say maybe you're too young, but then I've got a younger brother the same age as you, and he absolutely loves Sting as a child and thinks of him the same way as I do. But he actually watched WCW at the time, which is probably the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I had the pay-per-views WCW, you know, the VHSs that were like light green and light pink, those sort of. So I had those, and obviously I watched those, but I just don't remember. It didn't stand out to me as a performer that I want to watch week in, week out, or I'd watch a show for. And I think and even currently on AEW, I think when you watch his segments with Lance Archer nowadays, it's just a bit clumsy for me at the moment. But that's current day Sting, as I said. We're reviewing it on the Icon, the Vigilante, so to speak.
Well, I can certainly agree with that about the Lance Archer thing, which has just become ridiculous to the point where they've even acknowledged it on the screen on the last episode of Dynamite, saying, "Oh, this is what we do. We come out every week. We interrupt you. That's what we do." It's like a wall breaking thing, and it just, that needs to stop. Move forward.
As I said, I'll go back and I'll watch Sting versus Vader from '93. Was it? Slamboree or something?
That kind of era, he was against Vader a few times, yeah.
All right, so I'll go back and watch Surface Sting, more Surface Sting, and I'll come back on next.
What are you doing? You're going to be watching a match in a vacuum, and you're not going to get the character that's leading up to it, which is probably what you're missing in the first place, why you should be caring about Sting. So even watching a couple of matches isn't going to, change your mind on that. It's
I I guess it's the equivalent of watching the last 10 minutes of a horror film and saying it was awful, isn't it? I mean, it's the same sort of thing. There's been no build-up. There's been no... so I get you on that. But my main history of Sting has been from the network and the Money Night Wars documentary, which, as much as we like to admit it, is very one-sided to make WWE look like the be-all and end-all of business decisions, isn't it? So I guess it's been tainted from that side of things. But as I said, for me, Sting's not really... not even in my top 10 of wrestlers, I wouldn't have thought, in history, which...
It better be much further down than that if you're saying that you don't like him.
No, I was saying 10 because I was hoping that one of you guys wouldn't ask me to name my top 10 because I couldn't think of 10 wrestlers at the moment. It's too early in the morning. But yeah, he's just doesn't cut the mustard for me, which is unpopular to say the least.
It is, but it's your opinion, as unpopular as it is.
Indeed. Lovely. And also Sting hasn't got a BCA made, which everyone knows BCA is the best figures ever made. Unpopular opinion part 2. Right. Next week, so we'll be having a look at our next episode. We'll be having a look at more different subjects, more pickups, more news. Hopefully Mattel will do some more reveals from us. But apart from that, that's it for us, guys. Adam, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And Johnny, flashback.
Yes, remember to subscribe, review, rate, comment. Get yourselves
get involved. We've got a free giveaway. So make sure you get involved with our free giveaway. Almost forgot about that one then. So make sure you jump on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just subscribe to our YouTube. Subscribe if you can. Subscribe to your podcast provider. Leave us a review. Send it over to us as a message. And you're in the draw for the Ricky Steamboat, which you will see just there. There's a real late 80s, early 90s legend, unlike Sting. Lovely. Well, thanks for your time there, boys. And we'll see you again soon.
See you later.